Don't you know that the music should be solemn?
And we're off.
Wow. Hi, Theo.
Hey, Kimberly. How are you?
What's going on, Juicy Pants? What's happening? Oh, wow. I'm in a different area. What happened to me?
Yeah, well, you're in a different area with a light behind you. Could be being held hostage somewhere. What is this?
I am. No, I've been held hostage for the last 8.5 months. I got to get back to LA.
So you have this light behind you, which, you know, is really interesting because I remember those from when I was young. Look at the extension cord that's coming up.
I know. Right? Hey, Cordy. How you doing, Cord? What are we in the 60s?
That's amazing. It's amazing. The extension cord is just hanging there for dear life. And
Theo, you would not have believed my face sitting over there in my normal, Castle Mountain painting position.
Yeah.
I was all white. So
I was trying to teach you. I want to tell them that I've been trying to teach you, one, not to cut your head off with the screen, two, to get your better lighting. And all of that led to your phone fell 46 times.
I got a loon back here.
You got it propped up on books. It's a bit of a disaster. And truly, it was like the Chronicles of Narnia meets Lord of the Rings. It was a journey just to get that phone to stay still.
I got tape underneath these World Atlas books. I've got a puzzle down here. Big Wolf puzzle. You should see that. It's a disaster.
It's a disaster. So here's what else is kind of a disaster, but has a beautiful ending. Let me take you on a journey here for a second.
I'm ready.
We're recording this early because I'm leaving for LA. You're leaving. We're both packing. We stopped mid-pack to kind of knock one of these out. Yeah,
we did.
So when this drops, I've been working on something behind the scenes.
Do you want to share it for me and everybody out there listening?
I do, Kim.
Please.
I do.
Please.
And what I wanted to do was there was hope that I was going to be able to present it on the show.
What do you got?
Just let me, can you give me a second?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm so excited. It's like Christmas.
Exactly. It is like Christmas. And let me tell you what, when we did our first merch drop, a lot of people got very excited, sold out very, very quick. What? Because we didn't plan on it. And Standard Print Company, which we're so fortunate, everybody loves them, to partner with on these merch drops for this crazy ass show we're doing, Reaper Reviews.
Crazy.
They ran out, and I caught some flack, like, oh man, I didn't have time, because it happened in like 5 days. They were all gone, all three versions of the thing. So I went back to them and I said, I really think we should, either release more. And they're like, no, that's not the way we do it. Once you do limited drops, it's done. You cannot get another one. I don't even know. We have ours. Megan didn't get any. It's, catching a lot of heat.
I think the mailman's already stole my 3 shirts. That's why I'm wearing this today. No, they're gone. What the hell?
You got all 3. I don't even know if I got all 3. Okay. So long story, even longer. I pressured them and I was like, listen, I have these ideas. I have these designs. I have this. And they agreed. They did to do something.
Wow.
But here's the deal.
Please.
This episode should air, because I think I do know something. This should air December 2nd. So
Wacky Wednesday, December 2nd. That's right.
Wednesday, December 2nd. Right now, if you go to Standard Print, there should be 2 things available.
Wow.
A hoodie.
Wow.
Yes.
Do I get one?
No.
No.
And I'm going to tell you why.
Sold out.
I don't even have one. A hoodie.
Beautiful.
And this beautiful white tee. Now, they were supposed to, if possible, send me like a sample of each so I could have wore it and surprised you on the show and been like, I have one, you don't. Didn't happen. Instead, I'm wearing a Kobe Bryant Mamba Academy shirt. Okay. Now, it's lost. It's lost in it's gone. We think the mailman stole it. It was supposed to be here yesterday. The tracking did not happen. Didn't get here. Everybody's up in arms. Didn't happen.
Too bad, but it's all right. What are we going to do about it?
It's all right. So here's what's going to happen. If you're listening to this, either on YouTube, there's going to be a video before it of me and you showing them because maybe we somehow got them. If not, Just go to standard print right now, because here's the caveat. I wanted to do this for people for Christmas. That was the plan. This is our little like gift for all the people who didn't get it and for all the people who want hoodies. And they're very different than anything we released in the first limited run.
Wonderful.
But they're only available from December 2nd to December 7th.
Fine. Five, 6 days.
Ask? Yeah. Why?
I think I know why. Can I guess?
They'll never get there. Go. Please.
It would be a really nice thing to get them for Christmas. It would be a really nice thing. By December the 7th, you should get them for Christmas, and everyone's happy.
It will not get there before Christmas if it goes out after December 7th, because there was a lot ordered on the first one, and these are hoodies, and it's double-sided. So just really quickly, what I'm going to do, and I don't think you're going to see it, and that's okay, because I don't care. I'm going to try. This is a kind of
mock-up of what we're going to do.
No, it's the actual one.
Holy shit.
And I'm going to try to show you. That's the white t-shirt logo. Yeah.
I fucking love that, dude.
Okay, wait, hold on. This is what's on the front of the hoodie. Do you know what that says? What does that say?
Sam Fam.
Sam motherfucking Fam.
Yeah.
And then
without the motherfucking. It's Sam Fam. Just Sam like Fam. That.
And then that's both of them. And then on the back of the Sam Fam hoodie is this. This was the mock-up. Is our
beautiful
3-piece.
Look at our little plague crow.
So that's
3-piece rock. That's beautiful. Beautiful.
That's what's happening. If you were able to see that, great. If you weren't, just go to standard print, and they're there right now.
They're there.
And we'll do the whole announcement on social media. So that's what's happening.
So exciting.
Me too. It's exciting.
No,
I pushed for it.
Well, good for you. And I will say this, that you and I on this incredible ride of Reaper reviews, nothing surprises me anymore. But what does continue to warm my heart is the love that we're getting from the Sam Fam.
Amazing.
And for them to be those 3 t-shirts to be sold out so quickly. Caesar did such a great job. And you've been reading about how soft this cotton is, and people are so happy. They're like, they'll never wash them. They're so happy. Well, you know what? Good for you, bro. Let's get a second wave.
Wait till you feel the hoodie. The hoodie is his hoodies are even softer than the t-shirts. They're incredible.
Amazing.
And again, winter's coming, so everybody's going to be rocking that Reaper Review 3-piece rocker with the big Sam Fam across the front, and we're excited about it if they get it. So real quick, before we jump into this episode, which I can't wait to talk about, by the way, I have so much to talk about with this episode. Because
thank God you weren't in it. I didn't know that.
I wasn't.
Thank God you didn't make it.
Which we'll get to. But hey, we released that PSA, the Reaper Crew PSA.
Yeah, that was.
We didn't get to talk about it, and we got most of the boys and the people back together.
Yeah.
And I thought it was so cool for everybody to see us all back together, and saying like wearing a mask, whatever you feel about it, it's just something that we think that should be done. It's the least we think you can do to show kindness to your neighbors, to your family, to people. You could argue with me about what kind of mask and all that, and that's fine. We're just saying wear a mask, do your best, and to have us all come together like that, I thought it was pretty cool. Right?
Yeah, no helmets, just masks on. Booney, DL, Charles Murray, you, me, Tommy, and then Charlie. And, it was great to see Charlie, who, we've all spent the last 8 months doing what we can do to survive and be happy under these stressful times. And to see Charlie, which was from his heart. Obviously, this is something that you and I talk about already because we have social media presence and we do it happily and proudly. It doesn't matter what you believe, but we should all be wearing a mask for everyone else. And for Charlie to get so emotional about it was very sweet and from his heart. And it was nice to be invited to that party. It was nice to get the boys together for something so sweet.
It really was. And it's just, again, I just get tickled. Maybe it's because we're watching the show now and I'm reminiscent. Maybe if you and I weren't doing Reaper reviews, I wouldn't feel the same, but seeing them and then you and I watching these every week, it's just kind of, it's so odd. Yeah, it's great.
It's so odd, but it's so great.
It's like I've become a fan of us. Isn't that weird? It's just weird. It's like, I'm a fan
of us.
Like it's, even though we all talk all the time, whatever, it's like I have this because I didn't know how good everybody was.
No, I got to tell you, I mean, please, may the airports open and this COVID thing can be in a rearview mirror months from now. Please, I can't wait to get to the airports and go. And people go, I'm a fan. I'm going to go. I am too.
I am too.
I am too now. I am too. Thanks.
And speaking of that, I mean, this episode introduces so many things. This is Giving Back, season 1, episode 5.
Here we go.
Holy shit, by the way, there is so much going on in this episode. And even though I'm not in it, which, by the way, if you're listening to this for the first time, I did the first season as a guest star. I did 10 of 13 episodes. There are 3 that Juice is not in. And to be honest, because I've never seen the show, I didn't even remember which ones they were. I did always have a disconnect from the big scene in this film, in this episode, I mean, with the burning of the back, which we'll get to. So I never really remembered it. And now I know why, because I wasn't there. So let's just get right into it. The opening of Giving Back is the Otto introduction, which tell everybody who Otto is. If they don't know.
Otto's being played by Kurt Sutter. Kurt Sutter, our valiant, brilliant showrunner, executive producer. Him and John Linson started this whole Takeoff motorcycle club story. And Kurt's in it. Kurt's a freaking actor. Was he on The Shield, by the way?
He did. He played a character on The Shield, yes.
Because I never saw The Shield, as I've told you. I don't watch anything because I live in a closet 24/7. But yeah, he's really good. And so Kurt, is this the first time we see Otto?
Yes.
So he came up with the eye thing. So he's been cut in prison, I expect. And we're going to find out more about the eye thing going along. But his eye is kind of fucked up, right? So
yeah, this isn't just the first Otto time. This is the first Chucky time.
That's right.
This is
Michael
2
Ornstein.
introductions. So I'm blown away that Michael Ornstein, who plays the fabulous Chucky, was with us for that long. He was with us for 6.5 seasons.
Yeah.
And now he's on the Mayans too. I did not know that Chucky has been around for that long.
And neither did he. He would do shows and go, was I in it? Was I in it? You know, his hands would be going crazy and less fingers. And was I in it? Did I do? He doesn't even know how many shows.
That's the first time I laughed out loud on this show in a while. And we'll get to the Chucky thing. But I have a lot of questions when it comes to Chucky. So we open up with Otto and Chucky. Yeah. And then we cut right to
the shirtless wonders. Right to Jackson Opie
trying to get those ratings.
Get the ratings up, shirts off, those back tattoos took hours to put on. And then
Opie's got 900 tattoos that he made up. He did the one on his chest, which is like a great saying.
That might be my favorite, really. That thing across his chest. Great tat, man.
But he had a ton, and they're shirtless.
Yeah.
And Opie, here's what's funny. In the original pilot, Opie was a bigger guy, heavier. He got skinnier at this point. Remember, this is when Opie Ryan started getting in shape. Jax is always ripped. Yeah, always in great shape. And it was so, you know what it was? It was gratuitous.
They could have kept the camera on longer. Sprague was even like, okay, enough.
God.
Put your shirts on.
Take
the crib and get out of here.
Just come on.
Get out of here.
Put your shirt on. So if we got them, so then we go to.
No, but hang on. One more thing about the shirts off. And what I loved about it is, wait a minute. You know, when I take my shirt off, I'm digging a grave or I'm lifting some heavy bales of hay.
Yep.
They're lifting a crib.
I'm Odin when I'm shirtless, or I'm dying, or I'm throwing up on someone as Juice. I've never been cool shirtless.
No, they were just like, you know what? Let's take our shirts off. We're lifting a crib out of the back of it. Okay, let's just take our shirts off. All right.
They were doing a suntan lotion ad. I'm doing a PSA for drugs. Like that's the difference between our shirtless scene. There is no world where Tig and Juice are shirtless in a scene like doing something cool.
No, not even close. Yours, you have a diaper on. Me, I'm getting shot in the back by Hal Hogan. That's the only time we don't. You know, you got a diaper on. I'm getting shot. That's it. It's the only time we have no shirts on.
Come on.
All right.
Come on. So now we go. This was kind of cool, right? In these early seasons, and please correct me if I'm wrong, which I always am. We'd started doing stuff like this fundraiser where it shows how intertwined we are in the community, right? Like we do stuff.
ACA, if I may, giving back. Giving back. It means a couple of things to me. One, we continue to give back to the community, giving back. Good old Gemma. Let's have another big festival in a park, giving back to the kids. And then, thank you, Brian Van Holt. He's giving back.
Double meaning.
Double meaning. Yeah.
What's the difference between double meaning and double entendre? What's a double entendre?
That's it. You've got it.
It is?
That's it. Sure. Means two things. Well,
that's pretty amazing that you just came up with that because one, you're right. Two,
I think I might be right.
Might be the first time you're right.
Tiny tears. Small tears.
Tiny tears.
No, it's tears. Jesus Christ.
Tears. You had me convinced it was tears too. Made me look like an idiot with you. So, okay. So the fundraising, how much we're intertwined with the community. Here's the, you want to notice something I noticed about our little fundraiser?
You notice everything.
A fan has pointed this out. Of course I do. It's kind of what I'm supposed to be doing.
That's what you're supposed to be doing.
So there's a sign up at the fundraiser. Anybody who's about to watch episode 5 of season 1, I want you to go back and look. I would have to have a talk with the props department because the sign says.
What did it say?
Sam Crow, 2 different words, CROW.
No.
It did.
God damn it.
That's wrong.
Janet.
That's wrong.
That's so wrong.
It's Sam Crow, SAMCRO.
We knew what you meant.
Right. All one word. Sons of Anarchy Motorcycle Club Redwood Original. They had it on the sign. Sam, one word. Crow, CROW.
I got to go back and look at that. And all I can think of is the props department said, do you know what? There's going to be a lot of idiots in Charming who still think Sam Crow is a crow.
Yeah.
So let's put a crow down there just to make it easier for them. That's all I can think of because that's a mistake.
It's a mistake and it's a big one. So I know.
I want to reshoot that episode.
Let's
reshoot
that scene. Let's just reshoot the scene.
I want to see Bobby with his Elvis wig on again. Anyway,
I can't wait to get to that. So Otto's in prison with Jackson Clay.
Yeah.
Kurt had a lot of fun with that character over the years. He really was able to kind of do, like you said, the eye slit. He kind of had the beanie, almost all the way down, the toque, as you call it, kind of covering.
He loved it. He loved playing that guy.
His tattoos weren't all done yet. It showed. He loved playing that guy. That guy was can do anything.
And I'm so glad you brought this up, Theo, because also Kurt, because you and I know Kurt, 99% of the world doesn't know Kurt like we know Kurt, obviously. He's still an outsider.
Yeah.
Otto is still an outsider. He's in jail. He only gets visits. Usually it's from Jackson Clay. Once Bobby, I never went to prison. No. Did you ever visit him?
No, never met. Juice never met Otto.
The only time we would see, Otto was in the makeup trailer putting all this stuff on. So I know he enjoyed it. I know he enjoyed being the loner out there too and kind of observing everything. Yeah, that's what he did.
I think that also he didn't have to sit at the table with us. He didn't have to be a part of it. He can he can kind of pick and choose who he's with. He can, it's not as evasive is a better word. Like he's not in with us. So my question with that is, one, do we ever find out what Otto's in for?
He did something for the club, man.
He did something
for the club. Yeah.
Okay. Next question.
It's gonna come out. It does come out. He did something really big for the club.
Are him and Tig kind of in at the same time, or is he older? Is he younger? Is he
Otto's a bit younger, just a bit younger than Tig. Tig is closer to Clay in age, about 7-8 years younger. I was too young to be the original 9, obviously, but pretty closely thereafter.
The first 9.
For sure. First 9. Yeah. First 9.
People call it both. So he's definitely not part of that. He's more like Bobby.
Correct.
That generation of
Correct.
people.
Correct.
I would love to get like a true timeline, and nobody has it, and nobody can even create it, but like a true backstory, prehistory of it all. Right?
Seriously. That's cool. Why people still talk about a prequel. They still talk about, going way back when Gemma and John Teller, they were like 18, 19, 20.
And then do 7 seasons, or, they're not going to do that anymore because it doesn't exist, but do a bunch of seasons where it almost ends
how about
where
that?
Jack's a teenager and Tig comes in. And
how about that? That'd be great.
That'd be pretty cool, right?
Yeah, really cool.
You have to get a little Saskatchewan kid to play you or something. Okay, so
they don't exist.
No, I know. They broke the mold for sure.
Gone.
So the bike Clay was looking at in the garage, we go to the garage. It's that silver pan or whatever, that silver bike. It was in there for the first 4 years. I don't think it ever got fixed. It was there forever.
It certainly never got fixed by Clay. I'll tell you that. I mean, the way Pearl would pick up that wrench is like, don't hurt yourself. Do not hurt yourself. That
bike, I want people to go back every time we're in Telemundo. That bike was there for about 4 seasons.
4 years. 4 years. We never fixed it. Didn't have a clue what we were doing.
That owner, whoever owns that bike is furious.
They are so. Where's my freaking bike already?
We've been working on that bike for 4 years.
No, that's so funny.
Okay, so this was kind of interesting. Jay Carnes, Cone. I forget everything with Cone because I was never part of him. Again, I remember
everything about that asshole.
You know, I'm in love with Jay Carnes as an actor, so I don't know. But this was a creepy moment when he came on there with Jax.
Like, that was brilliant because if you look at our boy Charlie's face, if you can try and imagine your boy, your baby, should have died, hasn't yet, getting better. And it's a caring, and some dude is looking through the window like, and you go,
he doesn't leave.
So Charlie has to come out and go, what's going on, buddy? I like your boy. You have a very handsome little boy. He's gonna.
I'm choking him. I'm choking him right there on the spot.
I'm surprised Jax didn't knock him in, like right there.
Yeah, I should have just grabbed him, choked him,
get
him
up. Down. I just went, oh no.
So creepy.
Yeah, really creepy. And Jay, again, these guys, these bad guys, these alley walkers, they just get this juicy stuff to play. They're so nice. They're charming. They're dripping bullshit, but they're just fun to watch.
You always say that famous line when Gary Oldman told you, Kim, you give good creep. I mean, to give good creep is interesting because you could easily overdo it.
Yeah.
And I think what Cone's is it was creepy because it almost seemed like a little innocent. And it was like, is this guy serious? Because he's not an intimidating guy in general in life.
No.
And at the same time, you know, he could have that serial killer, that classic serial killer look, you know, that he has. So it was really just well done by him again.
It was just an off-putting scene. Off-putting, yep.
So we go to the table, we get into the room. There's no juice in the episode. So here's a problem that I had. Why is Sack sitting in my seat? He's a prospect.
Buddy, it's exactly what I put down. You don't sit down. You're a prospect. You don't sit down at the table. You stand up against the wall.
Yeah.
How did you get away with that?
Who sanctioned that?
Same
person who did that Sam Crow sign.
Right? The same props guy came in with, hey, Johnny, sit down right there. Theo's not in this episode. Go ahead, take the chair. Get the fuck out of here.
Stand up out of there. And let me tell you something else I have a problem with in that scene. Are you sleeveless in that scene?
Oh, no. I look, I go like this. I go, Tig. Tig was still trying to figure out his wardrobe. Those tank top tees went by the wayside soon thereafter.
You're fucking sleeveless in that.
No, I'm like a Tommy Flanagan, sleeveless tank top tats. Like, what? Get out. Tig had to figure his shit out, man. He was not comfortable in those early years.
Oh my goodness. So I'm looking at this table. You got no Clay is chugging cigars, half sacks in my seat. You have no sleeves on. I said, I leave for one episode and this whole thing's upside down.
There was no you. There was no Chibs. And I got to tell you something. I think somebody wrongly just
Chibs
said,
wasn't in the episode?
No.
Oh, shit. I just literally realized that. I'm so focused on myself.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think
you're right. You're right. He wasn't. He wasn't.
And I got to tell you, do you know what happened? This is what happened. You ready? There's 4 people at the table. Let's fill it in a bit. Ryan, you move over. Johnny, you sit down. Let's make it look a little more. That's exactly what happened. It's wrong. Right. It should have never happened, but that's what happened.
Yeah, they were trying to fill the frame. And again,
fill the fucking frame.
It's so early. So, okay. Chucky getting out of the prison. I got to tell you something. I'm sitting here. I'm watching this episode, and I laughed the fuck out loud when he stuck his hand in his pants for the first time. Faces were outrageous.
I forgot I didn't forget, but I forgot what it looked like. I don't know. Kelly Jones, man, those pants that he had on, they're going to fit a 48 waisted elephant.
Oh,
he had a lot of room to do a lot of movement. A
lot of room.
What the hell?
Clay's look, and then Jax's look. Jax is mortified, and Clay can't stop staring with this look of like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
And the scene cuts. It cuts right after that. You got to remember, we're so used to who Chucky is now. And, down the future he's on the Mayans, and late in the show of Sons, he has the nubs, and we'll get to all that. This guy does that on TV.
He was freewheeling masturbation right on TV. 10 o'clock at night, FX on a Tuesday. Check out Chucky or Chuck or Chuckles, whatever you want, whatever you want to call him.
Episode 5. No one's watching the show yet. No. Imagine you're tuning in and going, "Oh, hey, honey, let's try this Sons of Anarchy show. It seems fun. It's about these bikers." Nobody's watching the show. We had no ratings in the beginning, and they turned it on. And here's this middle-aged balding guy doing the 5-knuckle shuffle right in the van.
We'll get up to that coming up with Piney too, the 5-knuckle. Anyway, so where are we?
Okay, so we cut, then we go to our opening, and then, okay, here's the deal. I wasn't there for any of this. Kyle enters the scene. Now, if I'm correct, and we'll get to this, Kyle enters. We see him. Bobby's in his Elvis gear. You and I have briefly touched on this. This started to go away soon after, right? Bobby Elvis, literally Elvis, kind of went away after season 1.
He went away. He went away super gonzo, which was too bad because we loved it when he would do the Elvis thing. He came back and did a bar mitzvah in season 4 or 5, like one other time, maybe twice, but no, gone. This first season we experimented a bit, and that was it.
I'd like for someone to say in the comments how many episodes Bobby was actually as Elvis. I'm curious.
I'm going to guess 4 times.
Okay, I'll guess 5.
He was in the pilot. This is the second time. I'll bet you a couple more. Maybe 5. Yeah. Come on, fans. Come on, Sam.
5 out of 90 something. That was something. That was, and people still to this day call him Bobby Elvis. That was his character, and that went away.
Right. That's right.
That whole storyline went away. So that must have kind of been a little heartbreaking for Booney. I would think that.
I think it was. I think it was. I mean, I still say that pilot episode of when you guys shot the original pilot, there was a scene where Bobby is singing like Elvis near the end of that episode, and that looked like a Oscar-winning film. It was so beautifully done. I'm not sure it was Booney's voice, but it was so beautifully done.
The Las Vegas type thing.
That's right. I truly thought that this was going to be something that we would go to at least once a season for sure. And it just sort of went away. A lot of things went away. It wasn't just that. A lot of things just
curious.
Kurt just took off with everything. He rarely picked up the pieces.
So Chucky is at the bar with Piney. Because I'm going to get back to Kyle. Chucky.
We got lots of time for him.
Piney fucking handles that scene with Chucky.
I can't. I shut it down last night. I shut it down. And I shut it down on William Lucky's face was just like that. Looking, he could barely look down. He would occasionally, but he couldn't. And what was his line, Theo? I used to have that.
I used to do that too. I grew out of it when I was 14 or something.
No. Yeah, I used to have that too. Then I turned 13.
Yeah.
Then I turned and it stopped. Like, what's wrong with you, kid? It's remarkable.
Piney is 9 times the size of Chucky in real life.
Yeah.
Like he's literally, William Lucking is 9 times the size of Michael Ornstein. And he's looming over him. They're very close. And when he would take his hand out of his pants, Piney would like jump. Don't touch me with that hand.
Don't touch anything with that hand.
So then Ornstein goes on very quickly to talk about CMD, compulsive masturbation disorder, which obviously Kurt wouldn't have done it if it's not a real thing, right? Which, that's absolutely terrible for anybody that has it. There's a crazy story. I'm going to tell you a crazy story.
Please.
Crazy story. It's so weird that it's coming up with CMD. whenever
I'm going to sit back and enjoy this.
Oh, please do. Whenever I choose to fly, if I have the choice, like if I don't have to be somewhere quick, I like to fly very early in the morning. I like to take those 6 a.m. flights, you know, the early ones.
Earlier the better. I'm like
earlier the better. So I get to the airport, you know, 4:30, whatever, depending on where I'm going. I'm in JFK. 4 something in the morning, half out of it. Got my Americano in my hand, and I got my headphones on, and I just want to get on the plane and go back to sleep. That's what I'm thinking. But because I drink a lot of water, everybody else should.
You got to go pee
all the time. So I almost, oh man, let me go in one more time before I jump on the plane. And as I'm going, large guy's walking. I get in, but I see him
large guy walking,
but I see him at a corner of my eye, but I don't think anything. I go into the bathroom and it's these stalls. People who know urinals, they're all right next to each other. Sometimes no dividers between them, which we're in a dangerous game, right? There's no divider between them. This large guy comes in. Here's the kicker. He works for the airport. Okay. He comes in, he's got his phone in his hand, in his face. Wait. And he's watching it. He's watching porn.
Oh.
It's loud. While he's watching it and walking, he's got his hand down his pants. He gets to the urinal next to me. This guy's a giant. Just starts rubbing one out right next to me. So I don't know what to do.
The fuck is going on at JFK?
And he's a big dude, and he works for the airport. He's like 6 something, big guy. Here he is right next to me. He's not looking at me. He's looking at the porn. There's other people coming in and out of the bathroom. He didn't go in a stall. He went to the urinal. I'm not going to fight this dude. I just got to get out of there. I don't know what's happening. It's 4 something in the morning. I didn't know if I took acid. I didn't know what was happening. So I have to assume that CMD, which I've never met anyone.
Maybe he had it.
That guy might.
Maybe that guy had it. Maybe Kurt knew that guy, and he knew him, and he thought,
Kurt grew up in Jersey. Kurt grew up in Jersey. JFK.
Yeah, man.
Maybe the guy works there.
That's it. That's the connection. And let's leave that story at that. I mean, that's horrifying.
So that's my CMD story. So, okay. So, that's also where let's get to this. It's the first time Chucky ever says, I accept that.
I accept that. Yeah.
And that becomes as synonymous as I got this, or, let me finish my pie, or one of these other lines.
I wrote down when Chucky said, I accept that. I said, I wonder if this is the first time. And it was. You just pointed that out. It's an iconic. It's Chucky. I accept that. I mean, I don't accept that. I accept that. That was his shtick for 7 seasons. It was amazing.
And isn't it amazing to see the genesis of a line that is completely related to you for the rest of your life? Like if you see Michael Ornstein on the street and you're a fan of Sons or you're a fan of the Mayans or whatever, you're going to say, I accept that to him because you know that line.
Yeah.
It's like how I hear the pie line all the time, or you hear about Venus all the time. This thing you're doing in the moment becomes synonymous with kind of who you are in a weird way.
And do you think, I think so. I think Sutter probably had a vision of that line for Chucky. I think he probably, but the way he said it, and it was so perfect, it became just more and more real every time he said it. Easy to write for him to say, I accept that. Easy.
And the way his cadence is. So now we cut to Cone and Tara scene. I got to tell you something. What a great scene, by the way. They're in that he kind of comes in to talk to her. She tells him about the restraining order.
Not only is it a great scene, I don't know how you felt about it, but I couldn't, now that we're watching the show, I couldn't help but think about Zobel. I couldn't help but think about the same calm, just genuine, creepy, smiling self from these predator type bullshit people. Jay did it so beautifully.
Yes.
Maggie was so beautiful. They were so good in that scene. Like, fucking, here we go.
And what people don't realize, and again, we always try to speak to the young actors and artists who watch this, is Jay's doing that with a smile on his face, right? Because even bad guys think they're the hero of their own story. This guy thinks that he's doing the right thing by Tara, by Cone. Like
for sure, he's
mind,
he's saying, I understand you, baby, I understand. And I'm gonna play by the rules, but I'm here because I have a job to do.
But then he peppers it in with, by the way, that's a government ordinance and it doesn't pertain to me. So just so you know, I really don't have to follow it, but I will because I respect you and I love you. And he's smiling and he's laughing, and that makes it so creepy. So what you have to understand is, as these young actors that I hope are listening to this, is when you're embodying characters like this, you have to believe it. And you have to think that nothing you're doing is wrong, even though it's so wrong, because they don't think it's wrong.
That's right.
That's what's so, and he did it with that smile and that creepiness. And man, hats off to him. And Tara's the polar opposite. You could see the fear washing over her as they do it. So I thought this was a cool scene coming up. Opie's trying to play with his daughter after he sees Kyle, right?
Yeah, come on. Listen, people, if you can really, again, this is a fictional show with some truths sprinkled for 92 shows, truths. If you can think for 1 second about Opie being in jail for the club, for the Sons, spending time in jail as his little girl, little boy are growing up, they probably don't know Dad that well, or they've forgotten about Dad a little bit, right? And this egg toss, I mean, it's so uncomfortable when she declined, but it's beautiful. It's real. You could just feel it as a father, daughter, mom, Sprague looking on, Donna looking on.
So like Donna's
she's right there.
On, like, oh, come on. She wants her to say yes so bad. And
I mean,
he's boiling underneath.
And he's just trying to make the family whole again. I use that word whole because Kurt loved that. He just wants to make the family whole, but he's not going to force her. It is what it is. And it was a beautiful scene.
And then you talk about the veins and the arteries and the underneath the skin stuff. Think about this. Kyle was thrown out of the club. And Opie references this later about the club being his life. It's all he's ever wanted. This guy lost the club and he thought he was going to be miserable. We'll talk about that when we get to the Jack scene.
Yeah.
And he's like, now he sees this guy having fun with his son doing this. And here's this guy Opie, who pledged his allegiance to Sons of Anarchy, sees that he has no connection to his kids. He's the one who's supposed to have no connections to his kids, not me. And you can see it all on Ope's face, and just fucking great little scene that just really gets you right in what's going on. So now the Jackson Donna scene right after that, man, Jax gives her a fucking speech.
Yeah.
Which is really, again, remember episode 5, season 1. Let's learn about this club. Let's learn about motorcycle clubs. Oh, I don't know anything about motorcycle clubs. I didn't do my research. I've never heard of 1%ers. I don't know anything. I'm just watching a TV show. He tells you everything you need to know in that scene.
Yeah.
What the club is to these guys, what it means to them. Don't get in the way.
That's right. And Sprague, I mean, Donna, she started off really liking Jax, really loving to be there with Jax for that moment. And then as you see that Jax is there to not really to teach you something, but maybe he's just laying out the facts of what Opie means to the club, what the club means to Opie, and that's just the way it's going to be. And then Donna just goes, I've already talked to your mom. I've already been given this kind of speech. And Jax goes, well, not quite like this. And it's going to be okay. It's just, that's the way it is. When you're in the club, you're in the club. That's it.
Nothing else matters.
Nothing else matters.
So let me ask you another question that's completely like a little off topic, but kind of on topic. Did Jax's voice change over the years?
Charlie did a really incredible thing. If you guys all know this in family land, he's from England. He's from Manchester. He's
Newcastle, right? He's
from Newcastle. That's right. We were just in Manchester, and they all think that he was from Manchester. No, he's from Newcastle. And Charlie worked so freaking hard on his accent, man. He worked so hard on his accent, and I really think that these first 2 seasons, Jax found his voice. Charlie found that Jax voice. And then by season 3, halfway through, 4 for sure, he just forgot about working it so hard that it just became more and more natural for him.
Yeah, and definitely, I mean, I think if you compare, like, if you had like a voice modulator or something, if you compared like the later seasons, 4, 5, 6, 7, you know, to these early ones, it just sounds a little different. And again, you're right. It's because he got freer with it and it became part of his everyday.
He worked so fucking hard wearing those white tennis shoes, sneakers, because people are going to, why is he wearing, there was a reason for that. Mm-hmm. The pants, reason for that. And his lumberjack blue shirt, reason for that. And his voice, and the dialogue coach that he had for those first 2-3 seasons, there was a reason for that. And then it just became easier and easier and easier. And I don't even think about his voice from season 4 on, for sure. Not that I thought about it early, but he was finding it.
Jack was finding it. And now as a viewer, because I never noticed it when we were filming, as a viewer now, and what people don't realize when you do different dialects, like this film I was just doing where I was doing Pittsburghese, and when you're doing it, it's definitely a lot of work. It's tongue placement. You know all this. Everybody sounds different from different places. But when you get excited or you yell or you get angry, that's when it has the better chance of turning on you, going back to your original one. So you always have to be careful in how your emotions are when you're messing with the dialects. So he had a tougher climb than most. And it's really impressive what he did.
Really
I'm
impressive,
impressed
for sure.
by it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Kyle shows that he doesn't really care about his kid in that moment. Because they say when Jax and Opie say, what do you got for us? After him and Opie have that tussle, right? That's now.
I wouldn't even call it a tussle. I call it a one punch. They cut away from the commercial.
No, but Opie had beat up.
No. I'm saying that we didn't see it. We just saw one punch, boom, cut the commercial. We come back, and there they were all bloody and towels out, and that was cool. But yeah, that's right.
Opie shirtless again. Here we go. You know, we get to see, because, you know, if they spent those times on those tattoos, you bet your ass they're going to show them. So
goddamn straight.
He's in the bathroom, and what I got from that scene was once they say, all right, tell us what you got. I'm curious if at that moment the plan was already established of the back, because we had now seen the tattoo, and I want to get to the back tattoo. Go ahead.
I'm just going to say that I think, first of all, 20 minutes ago when we were discussing that first chapel scene, when Opie said, no, let him come to the fair. I want him to be, I said, no. Tig said, fuck you. Clay went, hang on, we're going to, and there was 5 against 2 or 4, and we're going to let this guy come. So Kurt showed Opie's side of forgiveness in a little bit. No, I want to see him, or I want to see that he's broken. I want to see, but no, let him come. Let him see his son. That's fine. Then they go through this, Opie probably figures out that he's not as
before he punches him, he sees the tattoo.
And he sees the tattoo, for sure he does. So I don't know, man. I think that Charlie, the question you asked me was the plan to get him back to the clubhouse at this moment? I'm not sure it was, but when Charlie asks him about what you got for us, and he's expecting whatever, when he goes, no, I got a plan. You guys, I think the segue was perfect to get him back to the clubhouse and burn that fucker off.
But look, drill down into that for a second. First of all, there's only 3 people ever who had Sons of Anarchy tattoos on their back, who had the 3-piece rocker on their back.
Correct.
Jax,
and they're right there
Opie,
in that scene. Kyle. That's right.
No one else had it.
That's right.
None of us. Wasn't part of the deal. There was, I had the ones on my chest later on, the sunshine and all that, but there was never talk of me or anyone else, because what it was their little group when they were young. So my assumption is Kyle, Opie, Jax grew up together. That's my first assumption.
For sure.
Okay. They grew up together. They see that tattoo, and that spawned something in their brains at that moment. Then when they get him in the bathroom after Opie and him have this fight that we just spoke about, I think, and I'm almost convinced that when they're asking him about, tell us about this, unless it's some like monumental thing, I don't think they really care, right? I think that the plan is to get him back because of that tattoo that they saw. The other thing is we immediately reveal Kyle's character. While we were all concerned that he was living this perfect life and he cared about his kid and, they say, well, you're going to miss your kid's performance. And he goes, that's fine. I'll see another one.
I'll see you later. No time.
He doesn't even care. So it shows that he's a scoundrel, right? Right there. Not like, oh, let's do it another day, or hey, can we meet tomorrow? No, let's go. So now we get to see who this dude is, right? Okay. Well, now we got right after that, we know they're going somewhere. But again, what do we think? That Jax is going to bring him to Clay and they're going to maybe make some money on some deal or whatever.
Correct.
Okay. Clay, Chucky, and Piney's scene is he tells him we got to get this money now, right? Because of everything that's going on. And Clay is just on the mission. Like, we got to do this, right? Yeah.
Well, because Clay keeps seeing cars drive by the shop, and they're Lynn's guys. They know that they're with the group, you know, the Asian group, and they got to get this thing done now. Now we need the money now.
What's Lynn's crew's name?
Don't have no idea.
Okay, so we know, and he was getting scared all the time, but he knows that it's time to go now because he's promised that there's $400K. He kept saying it. It's $400K Correct. There. We go back to the fundraiser. So this is interesting. Gemma always clocking everything. She's like a watchtower, right? Like Gemma sees everything. She sees Tara.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I gotta. It's the beauty of television, but like it's kind of bullshit. Like it's the perfect timing of the perfect person sitting at the perfect place to see the perfect person have that. It's just all bullshit. But it works for the TV show. It works for the drama. It works, but it's just kind of all right. Cool.
It's bullshit. But again, why I like it is Gemma's the all-seeing eye, right? We sees everything.
Yeah.
We're still getting used to Tara coming back and being in town. She gets super scared seeing this guy
wigged out. Yeah.
Gemma clocks it, runs away, and then all of this stuff, now we're starting to put Cone together, right? Here's what's cool about this scene, and I need you to see if you remember it. There's an extra in the background. What's he wearing?
Yeah, I wrote it down. I couldn't believe, in fact, I had to stop it, Theo. And there's an extra that goes, free big auto on his t-shirt. Right? Like, okay, how cool is that? Just out of nowhere, an extra, he put this on, obviously thought of by Kurt or by Tony Medina. I don't know, free big auto. I'm going
to tell you why they thought about it.
Please.
I know the history.
Go.
So there are some famous pictures of some outlaw clubs. I don't know if they were in magazines but done by because I know Hunter S. Thompson was following around certain clubs and all that. But when one of them was in prison, you would see sometimes at these events or whatever, people would wear the shirt, free whatever. And in the original pilot that we did, before you guys, they were there. Same thing. They'd be, if we did big scenes with extras, they would pass out a few of those shirts.
Wow. Love it.
So I don't know if we continued it after it, but that was kind of a big thing that if in this 1%er life, if somebody was in, people would wear those shirts because if they knew the cops were watching them or they knew whatever. And I guess they just took it from there, which I just think is fucking awesome because if you're eagle-eyed and you see the free big Otto and we just met Otto.
Yeah.
You got to put that together. And that's
great.
That's great. Fucking cool, right?
I'm glad you noticed that too, son.
Yeah,
I really
love
do.
That.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, you didn't notice the Sam Crow in the beginning, so at least I got to.
Good.
So Jack's putting together the Cone stuff now. This is the guy who creeped him out in the beginning.
Yeah, and again, I got to tell you, Jax is staring at him, and he's like staring back, flipping pancakes, going, are you looking at? I'm looking at. Are you looking at? I'm looking at you. You looking at me? Jack's going, you're looking at me? No, it was just stupid, but it works for the show. It fucking works for the show.
It was weirdly uncomfortable. Cone's like smiling at him.
All right, so that happens. All right, now we got to get to the undercover shit going down now, right? Is that where we're at?
Yeah, here's the thing. We go to the van scene.
Yeah, can I talk about that for a minute? Okay, so there is a photo, and we have 1 million. Juicy Pants, you have 1 million too. I have 1 million too. There's so many. There's one photo, and we took it this day, the day that we are all in these undercover does. the no cut. Just, okay, we're going on a mission. Clay's called. Booney, take your shit off. Tig, you got your shit right. Who, like, that gear. Like, we just looked so ridiculous. We were like, ridiculous. That's why I think in years down the road, it just became the hoodies. We just grabbed hoodies. We just put on freaking hoodies. Do you remember that, Theo?
Yes. We all had the same thing. We just put it
We
on.
all had to just put on a hoodie and just go.
It made it like you made it uniform, and it made it like we don't got to worry about that stuff. So, okay. The restaurant owner, we get there. I have to tell you that, Theo, you're a producer. I'm a producer. I want to hire her for every movie I ever do. Everything.
She was brilliant.
Brilliant.
Accent was brilliant. What she said, masturbator. You know, knife guy. No, just give her the part. Amazingly funny.
And then after he hands her the money, I love you, masturbator. I love you guys. I love you, biker.
I love you. Come back.
Oh,
come back anytime.
Fuck.
You come. You're front table.
How good she is.
So good.
And again, it's this scene that's occurring. These bikers just walk in the middle of the day and they're cutting out the ceiling. And it's just the fucking casting, man. Oh, it's
so good. Even a cook goes, hey, buddy, check, I'm back. You're back. Yeah, whoa. And they were cutting. No. It was crazy fun.
It was unbelievable.
Okay. Then you weren't in this scene, but no. I have to ask you what you thought about this. We're in the 5th episode, first season. Why are they shooting at us? Why is the guns out again? What? Like we didn't kill any. Like what? Like boom, 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 holes, bullet holes.
100,000 on the line.
Okay.
I mean, almost $500,000 people are going to shoot. They're gangsters.
I guess they're fucking gangsters, but it's charming. No wonder Unser had a hard time. No wonder Unser got cancer. He just couldn't handle it anymore.
People for less money.
Oh, that's a very good point. You're from Staten Island. I never figured that out.
Yeah, but let's also assume this. Let's assume that Lynn's restaurant is not in Charming. Let's assume it's out of town. So it could be more. It
could be more down. It could be more Oakland. Might be Oakland.
Yeah,
might be.
Yeah. Let's assume that he's in a different area.
I know he was.
Because if that was a shooting in Charming, it would be front page and it would be bad news for everybody.
No, definitely. You're right.
I don't think it was in Charming. I think it was downtown somewhere. Here's what goes on in that scene. There's a couple of things that happen in that van scene. Boone is in full acting mode. He is angry. Did you see how angry he was at Chucky?
I thought Chucky. I think Chucky had to put his shoulder back after that scene. He got hit so hard by Bobby Elvis. I remember going take it down a notch.
Take it down.
I'm not gonna. No.
He was angry.
So angry.
So angry. So we give up Chucky to Lynn, which I thought was as cold-hearted as it was.
No, but. Did you notice? I've got it written down. Did you happen to see Jack's and Tig's faces when they handed up Chucky? If you go back and rewatch that, Theo, the look on Charlie and my faces were one of like,
why would you do that?
This isn't cool. What we're doing right now. It's not cool. But you're going anyway. No, what you just did right there. That's what Charlie did. And I was going, fuck. But
in Clay's mind.
No, Clay was right.
60,000 he got 60K. He didn't do anything. This guy's not part of us.
No, that's why Clay's the president of Sons of Anarchy. And we're not.
He screwed us over. He told us 400K. I mean, you got to think there were a lot of mistakes made there by him.
For sure.
Okay. So here's what's going on. A couple of things happen here. There's a great shot of Jack's by JT's bike. I just want to talk about that for a second because people have to understand that in
point that out, that bike.
In our clubhouse.
Yeah.
In our a staged clubhouse, which was amazing, by the way.
It was our studio up there in North Hollywood.
Cold as hell, but I missed it. I missed the crap out of it. It was so much fun when you went in there. But the one thing that was there for all the years until the end was JT's bike was there right in the same way you see it. It was live and in person for us. So when we'd have visitors, you and I would always bring people to set.
Always.
People hated
a shot over there by the bike. They
loved taking two places. They wanted to take shots. They want to take it by the bike. They want to take it
in the chapel.
In the chapel. And when you see Jax in this quick scene in the hallway in front of his dad's bike, there's a lot of meaning in those little shots with his dad's bike as the background and all that. And again, probably they don't know it at the time, but now that we know the show, there's just so much meaning in that, him and his and that bike, and just knowing that bike was looming at all times, because on the set you would go to that bike, then you'd make a left and there would be Jax's room. Correct. Yeah. And then there was the bathroom. They cut that scene out, which we'll get to. I think it might've been season 1.
You and me, we have a beautiful bathroom scene that got just hacked.
Oh, that was a great scene. They cut that out, but there was another one of me flushing the underwear.
Yeah, it's in there. It's still in there.
They cut that scene.
The underwear?
Yeah, they cut that. That was on a bonus thing. When my character flushes all that underwear because he was sniffing underwear.
Oh yeah, no, very good character choice for you. I thought, don't lose that. No, he needs to put that on his resume right now.
They got rid of that. I'm going to try to find
Theo
out
Rossi.
where that. I want to know what season that fell in. But okay, so that was another thing. So there was a whole set there where that bike was, and it was just really cool. So the setup of Kyle, they talk about the panhead. Everybody's drinking. Bobby's in full Elvis drinking Boone mode. Everybody's doing their thing. We're going to get him back into it. Everybody's aware of what's happening.
I think it was a brilliant scene on so many different levels. The viewer, like you and I were last night watching this great little show, something's off. Something's amiss here, but we don't know what. There was a brief flash of Kyle's tats, which the camera caught, There was a brief talk of exactly what Kyle had done to be in this position of you're out of the club. You're lucky you're not fucking dead. There was a brief discussion when Opie talks about, or Jax talks about how he was going to pick him up and the runner, and we're past that now, right? Have we talked about that?
No, we're past it. We're at the scene where we're about to lead him to the back.
Exactly. So my point is, now the viewer knows kind of what this Kyle shenanigans, what he did, and it was so bad for the club. And here we go.
But we don't know yet. Like he's going to see the bike. Where this was a brilliant edit choice. They cut to Gemma, and she looks perturbed, whatever. And she's with his ex-wife she says, where's Kyle? Where's Kyle?
Go to St. Thomas right now.
Go to St. Thomas. But as the viewer, we didn't see anything happen yet. No. So why is she telling her to go to St. Thomas, which we know is at the hospital? She just walks away, goes, I can't say anything more. I don't know anything. Cut to, now we're back in the garage. First of all, you're holding the fucking blowtorch. Perfect person to do it. You got to tell me about that scene. I wasn't there.
I will.
It's iconic. It's an iconic scene.
It's an iconic scene, and when Clay goes fire or knife.
Holy shit.
And in the script, Tig, of course, I got my hand on my knife and I got my left hand on the blowtorch. Your pick. And when he goes fire, I've got to tell you that Brando and the boys with the props, they showed me how to light this thing. And it lit big every single time. It never missparked. It never didn't go. And it was fucking real. And I know Brian Van Holt from Black Hawk Down, who's playing Kyle. And he was looking at me when the camera was on me, lighting this torch. And you could just see it in his face. Even though we got nowhere near his real back, we had
the fake back one was hanging for years in the props department.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, for years. I have pictures of it. I have pictures of it on my phone.
That was Kim Coates on a fake back, burning that skin-looking smell.
With real fire. You were burning the fake back.
With real blowtorch. And the look on Piney. Piney couldn't breathe the smell of the skin, the smell of the burning. Piney had art. Boone couldn't watch. What a great character. Bobby didn't want to look. Couldn't watch anymore. Yeah, couldn't watch anymore.
So I tried to think about if I would take fire or knife. Kind of sucks for both of them. I think I would have chose knife. I'm going to be honest with you. I would have chose a razor blade if they have it, but I would have chose knife because he actually passes out, which they say happens from the burning.
Well,
Brian Van Holt, who plays Kyle, is fucking great in that scene.
Great in the scene.
Screaming and tortured. Jax is angry as fuck, which you can tell he basically initiated that entire thing. It's a fucking gnarly scene. It's episode 5 of season 1.
It just showed me again, the level of actor and actress that wanted to be on our show from the very early time. Brian Van Holt, one show, playing a bit of a dick, playing a former Sons who was close, certainly to Opie and to Jax. Oh, and then we're going to burn the tattoo off your back in an excruciatingly difficult, painful scene. He wasn't afraid of that. He was screaming the whole night that night. That whole night, he got into it. It was real as we could make it. And it was on, man. It was a great scene.
Talk about water cooler talk the next day for people who watch that show. And they go, did you see that shit? Do you see what they did on this show? And then I'll tell you a couple of observations from an outsider. One, I wasn't there as an actor, and 2, as a viewer. Number 1, it really did show that there were no rules on our show, that we were going to do whatever we wanted, whenever we wanted. Here's the thing that really got for me for that moment, because we briefly talked about Half Sack in the last episode.
Sure.
I want to just bring this up again. Half Sack, when he watches that burning, is mortified. All the color gone in his face. He's sick to his stomach. He's a prospect trying to get into this club.
Yeah.
He knows that that's a possibility.
Yep.
And when it ends and he's mopping up the blood and pushing out all the ash
with the squeegee, getting the blood out of there with the squeegee,
you can see every bit of emotion on Half Sack's face, because now he's wrestling with, do I really want to join this club, or do I want to fucking run for the hills? And then Jax is on the roof reading his John Teller stuff. They fixed all the extra cars in the back. There was no extra
still a
cars.
few there, by the way. Still a few.
But they fixed it.
So great that you pointed that out. They got rid of half of them.
So crazy. So, but you see Jax walk to the edge of the roof, and Sack is down there. So it's like, I'm telling you, man, I don't know, but I know they had big plans for that character, man. They had big plans for that Half Sack character. And they were building it in those first few episodes. And then we all know, things just went where they went for a multitude of reasons. But I'm telling you, that moment, what I took big from that scene, and it's one of the most iconic scenes, was they were really favoring a lot of Sack's emotion in that and what he was doing. And it's such an iconic scene.
That's so interesting, Theo, because Johnny did such a great job of just blending in with all of us all the time. We all had different, it's tough to write for 10 people all the time, and it's impossible. But I'm glad you're pointing that stuff, that early stuff out with Half Sack, because it went right over my head if they were planning bigger shit for him.
They definitely were. And I knew that because, like I told you earlier, I had auditioned for him, and I remember what they would tell me about that character, of what their plans were. So listen, that's an iconic episode. I'm so glad we got to it. It's funny, while we're sitting here, I just got the notification that the merch was dropped off.
Good.
So either one of two things are going to happen. Either you and I on the YouTube part will come back on and we'll cut and I'll show everybody quick. But
that'll be you, because
that'll be me if they did. And if not, go to Standard Print, and they're there because they're apparently here at my house now. So
I'm so excited that you and Caesar and our team decided to make a second wave of merch, because
only 2 pieces.
I know, a hoodie and a white tee, which is a beautiful choice.
Yeah.
And this last episode ended with "I'm 18 and I like it." That song, and got to get out of this place. You want to talk about the Half Sack? Got to get out of this place. I'm 18 and I like it.
Yeah.
What a different dichotomy of what that song was all about. But a beautiful ending to a beautiful freaking show. Even though you weren't in it, stop that. Just stop that.
We're gonna have more than enough of juice soon enough. More than enough that I can handle.
I love you, buddy.
Very weird. I love you too, brother. And
peace out. Love
Standard Print. Go get your merch. You only got a few days. It's over.
Christmas is a coming, Pete.
Christmas is a coming. Ho, ho, ho.
Love you. Love you.
Okay. Here it is. fresh out the box. I got the notification at the end of the episode. Sam Fam, what's up? And then we got our 3-piece rocker on the back. This is crazy. I'm hyped about this one. And then, man, I just love this. We designed this whole thing. This is based off an old Reaper logo. And it's, those are the 2 pieces. Standard print shop, December 2nd to December 7th. That's it. And then it's done. Yeah, we wanted to get these out. So that's it. No 644. Not this time. All right. Be kind, motherfuckers. All right. Yeah. Here we go.